Hey guys, it's Tuesday. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about different tools I use for chainsaw carving right after this. Hey guys, I hope you're all having a great day. Today we're going to be talking about different tools I use. I'm going to answer a few question and answers you guys all have had, most popular ones. First, before we get started, this is Khaleesi. She is a cream colored golden retriever. She's new to our family, so Christmas came early this year. I'm sure you'll be seeing a lot more of her. She's just a puppy, 9 weeks old. So I'm going to get some things started in the workshop, and I will meet you there in a minute. Alright guys, we are back in the workshop. I just want to go over a few things I use for our chainsaw carving, the tools I use. Then later on we're going to get into the question and answers. Hopefully I'll be able to answer a lot of your questions. Alright, first we're going to talk about protection for chainsaw carving. It's most important. You're going to want a pair of safety glasses for sure, protect your eyes. Pair of ear protection for sure, because chainsaws are loud. And a pair of chaps. These are made by Husqvarna. Super good Kevlar. You're going to want a pair of these for sure. I never used to carve with chaps, but now that I'm doing this for a full-time job, one nick on the leg, I'm going to be out for a while. Alright, next thing we're going to talk about is chainsaws. Of course you need a chainsaw for chainsaw carving. This is the chainsaw I started out with. The only saw I ever had. This I bought in 1995, my first year out of high school, and it still runs super good. But yeah, this is the first chainsaw I ever had. This is what I used for chainsaw carving. And then I ended up buying this one. This would be for big stuff, blocking it out. This is Husqvarna 372 XP. I had an extra bar put on. It's a 28-inch bar, just to give me a little bit more length. The next chainsaw, we've got this battery-powered one, which was the last video I did. I really like this one. And then I also, my favorite saws, the Husqvarna 240s. I actually have 4 of these. You can get them with a 16-inch bar, 14-inch bar. I put a carving bar on one of them for details. Next we will go into like sanding. This is what I started with, just a regular palm sander, just to sand them down. And this is kind of a must-have too, propane torch. I burn everything just to get the bar oil off, and it kind of sands it and seals it a little bit too. It burns all the fuzz off, and it's easier to sand later. I also use a flap sander. I had just recently bought this maybe a year ago, and these are great. There's actually a refill cartridge you can buy. I don't know if you can see in there or not, but it's just you loosen the cover and you can pull these out further, cut the tips off, and you got brand new sandpaper. Yeah, you can buy these cartridges for it. So there's just a little flaps, and it gets in all the grooves. It's super nice. If you don't want to spend hours sanding in each feather, this will actually get in all these grooves. So next thing I use a die grinder. You can buy different tips for these. I just bought this little kit here. It has different size bits, different rounded tips, flat tips. Die grinder I had recently bought also. I used to never use anything besides a chainsaw and a sander, but I'm getting into more detailed stuff now, so this is a very handy tool too if you're going to get more detailed. What else I got? I got this little Dremel if you're going to do really detailed. I actually use these for the beaks on the owls, just to sand it off after I'm done burning. If I had to pick 3 things that I would use for chainsaw carving, and that's all I could have, I'd probably pick a propane torch, I'd pick my chainsaw with a carving bar, and a sander. And you can do a lot of things with just those 3 items. Alright, for questions I always get, the number 1 question is, what kind of wood do I use for chainsaw carving? I started carving in the UP up in Paradise, Michigan, which we have recently moved now. But up there, it was all pine and cedar. It's a soft wood. Cedar. This is actually cedar log right here. Very solid. It's nice to carve. It's soft, but it's very durable. Same with white pine. I always debark my stuff. It saves your chain, and bugs will not get into the wood after it's debarked. But now that I'm down in Six Lakes, Michigan, there's a lot more hardwood. So if pine or cedar is not available, I'm gonna probably try out hardwood, probably like maple, oak. You can really carve any wood. It's just some are harder than others to carve. Okay, another question I get a lot is, how long have I been carving? I have been carving for 7 years now. The first year I was just kind of experimenting, getting to know the chainsaw and everything. I've cut a lot of firewood, so I was real familiar with chainsaws. But yeah, for the first year I was not really carving for money. And then I got into, let's see, the next 6 years, I went full-time into carving, and you learn real quick what people want, what they don't want, different styles. Every time, still even now, every time I carve something, I'm always trying something different, just to get the look that I'm looking for. Once you get it, you'll know. All right, another question I get, is a carving bar really necessary for a beginner carver? If you have the money, yeah, it'd be a good idea, but it's not really necessary if you're not going to really get into it for a living or a career. This is a dime tip carving bar. It's 12 inches. It's called a dime tip because it's about the size of a dime. The smaller the tip, the less kickback you're going to have. So a carving bar, you're carving like this all the time, and the kickback is very minimal. Kickback, I mean, when it catches the wood and the blade is turning super fast, it wants to do this towards your face, which I actually took let me show you this one. This one has a chain guard. I took that one off because it gets in the way. Shouldn't do that, but I did. So like this one, if you're carving with this, the tip is a lot wider. So it's going to kick back like this, but this chain guard is actually made to go like that. So it's going to stop this chain from turning. And then you just pull that back and it turns again. So if you're going to be carving and you're going to be using the tip a lot, I would recommend for beginners, go out and get yourself a carving bar. They sell them at Bailey's. I get all my carving stuff at Bailey's. They sell a whole kit because you have to replace or actually change the sprocket to a 1/4 inch sprocket. They sell the whole kit, so it's pretty easy to do. Actually, maybe some video I'll do a video of changing the sprocket and putting on a carving bar. Write in the comments maybe if you're interested in seeing a video on changing a regular chainsaw over to a carving bar, or any other idea. I'm always looking for some ideas for videos. Just write me a comment. Okay, another question I get a lot is pricing carvings. Pricing carvings is one of the hardest things to do. It depends where you live as to how much you're going to get for a carving. That's kind of what I've noticed. And the detail on your work. I mean, yeah, you're going to spend hours and hours at first trying to carve something you've never carved before. But once you start carving a lot of them, you're going to get quicker. You could probably go down a little bit in price. Sometimes you need to make a living over how much time you spent on the carving. And some people's carvings, I mean, everybody carvings are going to be different. Some people are going to be more advanced, some people are just starting out. Pricing is really, really hard. Sometimes you will get what the carving is worth, how much time you put into it, and sometimes you won't. It's just how it goes. So the main thing is, it kind of all depends on where you live. If you have a commercial spot, I actually have a commercial spot, so I can sell along the road, which draws people in. Some people don't have that, so they have to go to shows. Pricing is really, really hard. All right, and the next thing you need for chainsaw carving is a puppy. Everybody needs a puppy to chainsaw carve. I hope I answered a lot of you guys' questions. I'm gonna wrap this video up. So yeah, these are just the tools that I use. Other chainsaw carvers, I'm sure they use other tools. Everybody has their own style of carving. There's really no wrong tool to use or right tool. You can use the cheapest tool. I actually have some cheap tools that I use a lot, and they work just as good as the name brand tools. So yeah, it just depends on your budget and if you're going to be looking at it as a full-time career. I hope I answered a lot of you guys' questions. Feel free to leave a comment, give it a thumbs up. Don't forget to check out the website. We still got t-shirts left. We can just probably make them to your house before Christmas. There's about a week left before Christmas, so yeah. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I appreciate you guys watching. I'll see you next Tuesday.